Good day, everyone. Welcome to Real Conservative Headline News. I'm your host, Nathaniel Rajkumar. Some great news, in my opinion. It seems as though it appears to be that way, that the PPP Civic and Irfan Ali were successful in winning the general and regional elections in Guyana. And therefore, we can rest assured that prosperity and progress will continue to take place, and that Irfan Ali, as the best president in Guyana's history, will continue to serve all the citizens of that nation equally. Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali, at just 45 years old, has cemented his place in Guyana's political history. Woo, he's just 2 years older than me, boy. Anyhow, projected to win a second term after Monday's general and regional elections, President Ali and the People's Progressive Party have not only secured a majority in parliament, but have also achieved a feat-long thought unattainable victory in Region 4. They have a very significant majority in parliament now, people. The country's largest and most contested electoral district. Once again, congratulations to the people of Guyana, because they are going to continue to prosper and see their nation develop in so many significant ways during these next 5 years. So that's wonderful news. No more overheating phones. Cool your phones in seconds. Prevents damage to phones and battery issues. Better gaming experience and streaming. USB powered and fast charging. Lightweight and quiet. Ideal for kids and adults. Works with all smartphones. Makes a great gift. Enjoy free island-wide delivery. Call or WhatsApp 868-762-6589. Some local news, and yes, usually I start with local, but this was very significant, and that's why I decided to announce the victory for the PPP and Irfan Ali in Guyana at the beginning of my news report. Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar has reaffirmed her long-standing commitment to education, community upliftment, and equal opportunity as she distributed school supplies to children across her Superior constituency. Speaking at her annual back-to-school initiative on Tuesday, she revealed that during the July-August vacation, many families reached out to her office seeking help in preparing their children for the new academic year. Responding to these requests, her constituency office mobilized resources to ensure that more than 2,000 students will receive aid, school bags, essential stationery, and book vouchers. In addition to those 2,000 children that we have worked together to help, our Minister of Education, through the Ministry of Education, will be assisting 20,000 children with book grants. When we got into office, there was no provisions in terms of money for book grants for children this year. And one of the first things we did, we had something called a midterm review. We had to find money. We had to allocate that money. And we sat together, we cut out some things. I said that recently, that they had to, relocate certain finances in order to be able to get certain important things done. So she said, we cut out some things that we felt were not essential because we believed that your welfare, the students, the children, that your welfare should be priority, and she's 100% correct. And so we found $20 million to put towards that 20,000 students in the whole of Trinidad and Tobago. And basically, that's probably one of the main reasons why there's a little delay in the distribution of those grants. Nevertheless, a vast majority of us who were born in the 80s and therefore grew up in the 90s can remember and can attest to the fact that Kamala Prasad Bissessa, even while she was Minister of Education under the Pandey administration, she always showed a special love and concern for the children and the growth and the education of the children here in Trinidad and Tobago. You won't be disappointed with this one. Look and feel great every day. Painless trimming with no pulling of hair guaranteed. Comfortable to hold and lightweight. Intelligent anti-pinch system. Safety travel lock. Accurate and painless trimming. Durability 100% quality. Fast charging. To place an order, call or WhatsApp 868-762-6589. One of the Caribbean's most beloved brands and known brands, Sunshine Snacks, even as a child growing up, has announced an official sponsorship agreement with the Trinidad and Tobago Football Association. The sponsorship is set to run during the final round of CONCACAF World Cup qualifiers, starting with the home match involving the senior men's team versus Curaçao at the Hazley Crawford Stadium on September 5th. I wish them all the best. I would love to see our local team win the entire competition. Minister in the Ministry of Energy and Energy Industries, Ernesto Kesa has highlighted that stable jobs in the oil and gas sector are important as they contribute to a nation's economic stability and energy supply. And that's just the reality, people. I said that yesterday and I will say it again. The energy industry, the oil industry remains the backbone of our economy. And therefore, once Petrotrin is reopened, you're going to see a whole lot more middle-class individuals in our society who have regained purchasing power. And that purchasing power will ensure that the working class citizens and those with small business owners will be able to benefit. Because once these individuals have extra cash, what they do is spend it in their communities, in their villages, throughout the country. And they also have businesses themselves a lot of the times. And therefore, what's going to happen is that individuals from the working class will be able to obtain much more employment. People, this was something that we were hoping and praying for many years now. A revival of the energy sector, while, of course, focusing on diversifying the economy as well. We are focusing once again on the tourism industry, agriculture. So this is not just about the energy industry and oil and gas. It's about diversification, but you must have the funds to be able to diversify people. That's the reality. It's just like a business. To be able to expand the business, you must have the collateral. And therefore, when in terms of the government of Trinidad and Tobago, they need to have the collateral to be able to diversify and invest into agriculture, sports, tourism. The only way to do that is to be able to revive the energy industry. And as I said once again, besides that aspect of it, which is on a nationwide level, when you have a revived energy industry, the middle class becomes once again empowered to be able to bridge the gap between the upper class and the working class.
Since taking the helm of the Trinidad and Tobago senior men's football team, head coach Dwight York has advocated for an all-hands-on-deck approach on and off the field when it comes to the team's current objective, which is to qualify for the 2026 FIFA Men's World Cup. On Tuesday at the Bricks Hotel in Port of Spain, first Vice President of the Trinidad and Tobago Football Association, Colin Murray, and Coach York tied the knot with Associate Brands Industries Limited's Sunshine Snacks in a sponsorship agreement. Marketing Manager of Sunshine Snacks, Nadia Campins, outlined some of the sponsorship's details.
Through this partnership, we've reinforced our commitment to TTFA to support 3 crucial qualifying matches, and we're already delivering on our promise to connect with the community. Last Saturday, we supported TTFA's meet and greet at Eastgates Mall in Trin City, where fans had the chance to meet our national team players face to face. The energy among supporters, both young and old, was truly warm and encouraging. We will also support TTFA's youth initiative, where specially invited children will join the senior men's national team at a training session. There, they will experience firsthand what dedication means, how dreams are pursued, and what it means to represent Trinidad and Tobago. That's the kind of inspiration we want to create.
Coach York praised the representatives of Sunshine Snacks for their commitment to what he described as a critical moment for the team.
I remember us going as far back as my youth growing up. Sunshine Snack was an integral part of my upbringing, not just the product, but certainly they used to be under 20, under 12s, under 14. We used to play North versus South, East and West, all that kind of stuff. So, you know, it's been a long time coming, probably over nearly 10 years or so that you haven't really been involved in football. But nevertheless, we are delighted to have you on board. We welcome the support as always.
The sponsorship will also see one young supporter named the Sunshine Snacks Young Fan of the Match during Friday's game. Adrian Nazar, TTT Sport.
Carib Brewery Limited has announced that Stag. I always wonder how come that ended up happening. Carib ended up buying Stag. The company, that years ago though. I remember Stag when it was in a little kind of like more like a rounded kind of bottle. But anyhow, so Carib has announced that Stag will be one of the Trinidad and Tobago Football Association's official sponsors ahead of the senior men's team CONCACAF World Cup qualifying campaign. TTFA First Vice President Colin Murray and senior men's team head coach Dwight York met with Carib Brewery Limited representatives at the Carib Brewery compound in Chamflair to formally sign off on the partnership. And it is so important. It is so important to have this type of financial support. And of course, definitely, under the Kamla Prasad administration, the state will also be supporting these athletes throughout in all various types of sporting events here in Trinidad and Tobago and abroad. A day after the conduct of the general and regional elections was held across the 10 administrative regions in Guyana, Guyanese were out and about as a sense of peace, calm, and normalcy prevailed in the city and across the country. That's basically what happened here in Trinidad and Tobago as well. When UNC won in April, there was like a sigh of relief and there was a joy that filled the air. Now, of course, it's the same thing in Guyana. Although Irfan Ali was already in office, the citizens will be breathing a sigh of relief because they will know that their country will continue to prosper and progress. In Georgetown, particularly in the main shopping areas like Regent Street, Starbrook Market, Burda Market, Water Street, and other areas, it was business as usual as people went about their normal daily activities, and I hope it remains that way. The Guyana Tourism Authority, in collaboration with the Global Sustainable Tourism Council and Content with Purpose, has featured Cayman House in the Yupukari Village, Region 9, Upper Takatu, Upper Essequibo, in a digital series titled Travel Redefined. It showcases a powerful example of how tourism empowers youths and sustains culture, while also safeguarding wildlife. As Amerindian Month continues to unfold under the theme Igniting Unity, Celebrating Progress, Advancing Our Culture, the indigenous community in Guyana aims to celebrate the contributions of Amerindians to the nation and their rich history and unique culture while also preserving it. News from Jamaica. Cricket fans across the island have reason to celebrate as the Jamaican government is finalizing a deal to bring a new Caribbean Premier League franchise back to Sabina Park for the 2026 season. In a major push to cement Jamaica's status as a regional sports hub, the Ministry of Tourism and Ministry of Culture, Gender, Entertainment, and Sport are leading a public-private partnership to secure the island's return to the world's biggest party in sport. That will definitely boost tourism in Jamaica. Once you have such a large sporting event, yeah, that definitely will boost tourism in Jamaica. Today is election day in Jamaica, and I'm definitely hoping and praying that Jamaicans give Mark Golding an opportunity to carry their country to a higher level. Some inspirational news from Jamaica. Sabrina Dale of St. Elizabeth Technical High School has distinguished herself as one of the school's brightest academic stars, having secured an impressive 12. I have 6, and that was, woo, for me. 12 Caribbean Secondary Education Certificate CSEC subjects. Congratulations to her. Congratulations to her teachers and parents as well. Because, of course, yes, the most important thing is that you must have a student. The individual has to have the desire to be able to accomplish what they aspire to achieve in life. But also, you must have proper guidance of parents and teachers. The support, that support from both the teachers and the parents are so important to ensure that a student can be able to accomplish the goals that and keep them on the right path as well. Congratulations once again. And there was even another story of a youth man in Jamaica who grew up in a very impoverished home, couldn't even afford internet. And he excelled as well because, of course, of good, you want to call them good Samaritans if you want. You used to have to borrow internet access from the neighbors to be able to do, I guess, his research and homework and stuff like that as well. The International Cricket Council announced a landmark increase in prize money for the ICC Women's Cricket World Cup 2025 to be hosted by India and Sri Lanka from September 30th to November the 2nd. I am very happy for them, and I wish them all the best and success. Urban centers around the world are transforming, making room for pedestrian-friendly zones and creating sustainable green spaces for residents. This global trend that emerged during the pandemic is now becoming the new normal, with hopes that it can bridge the connection between people and their surroundings. And when you see examples of this throughout different countries in the world, from what I heard a lot of the times, and definitely it's common sense, when you're walking in those particular areas, even the temperature around you isn't as warm, as hot during the summer period and so forth. And definitely the air quality will improve when you have a little forest in the city. So that is wonderful. That is innovative. That is positive. Nothing at all I see anything bad about something like that. The Galapagos short-eared owl is an endemic species found only in the Galapagos Islands, typically in open grasslands and lava rock landscapes. Though usually nocturnal, this remarkable owl has adapted to hunt during the day to avoid competition with the Galapagos hawk. On Genovesa Island, they've also developed a new hunting technique. They actually wait outside the caves to be able to have their lunch or their dinner. I'm watching the algorithms even. It's normal speech, but I will say it and I will put it in those terms because remember, this is not my other platforms. This is this YouTube channel. I have to keep it as squeaky clean as possible.
The tournament, set to be staged across Guwahati, Indore, Navi Mumbai and Vizag in India, with Colombo, Sri Lanka also hosting, will now distribute a total of $13.88 million in prize money, 4 times the amount on offer at the 2022 event in New Zealand. The new pool also exceeds the $10 million available at the 2023 Men's World Cup. Champions in 2025 will take home $4.48 million, up from the $1.32 million Australia collected when they claimed the title 3 years ago. The men's winners' check in 2023 was $4 million. The step-up aligns with the ICC's push to accelerate the women's game, following last year's decision to implement pay parity across ICC events. ICC Chair Jay Shah framed the increase as a decisive move to cement women's cricket's growth and urged broadcasters, sponsors, member boards and supporters to help sustain the momentum and recognition the sport deserves. All figures quoted are in US dollars. Nasira Mohammed, TTT Sport.
Folks, that brings us to the end of today's news headlines. Thanks again to everyone who continues to support my content. Please like, comment, share. That is what will continue to boost the algorithms, to trigger the algorithms, to ensure that more individuals here in Trinidad and Tobago and around the world will be able to view my content. Stay blessed and stay safe most of all, in Jesus' name.